We're live. Okay. Well. We're live. I knew you were recording. I didn't. You we were live tonight. So that's actually the last time we are live this year.
Mm-hmm.
Although there will be shows. There will be shows. What, two or three? Three actually shows until the end of the year. So you're gonna see us, but it's already pre-recorded. So while you see these shows, we will be on the beach full country. No. Will be, or at least I'll be under 20 centimeters of snow. It's already -10. I hate this country. But that's not the point of today. Today we are doing weekly quest 12. Thank you for tuning in. Only Adam and myself today. Krian is already in France or in the plane to France, but he's having a like a work thing in France. So fair trip to him. And unfortunately for you, you will get us, which means we will diverge, digress, and go in absolutely every direction apart from the one we planned on. And if you like that, please, like, subscribe, share, comment, all of this. And with that said, any disclaimers? No, I guess we're fine with this. So, Adam, I told you, tonight we are not being serious. It's just us, while Krian is out, the mice are dancing. And of course, it's actually the title of the live, but Game Award next week, meaning there's really little news, interesting news. So it's really the filler of episode of Naruto tonight.
It's a shame we won't be able to cover Game of the Years, because that would be a big thing. But yeah, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm going to see my parents, so I'm gonna be gone for 3 weeks. Oh, it's way too long.
It's okay. I'm sure
1 week would be fine, but we're going for 3. My wife really wanted to experience an American Christmas and an American New Year's, and so she's like, we've never been there for Christmas, so so we're gonna be going
first
back.
Time ever.
Huh?
Yeah,
it's our first.
I would say.
Yeah.
First time ever that Adam and myself will be on the same continent.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, but she's so she's super excited, and I'm super like, oh my god, like I'm not gonna get paid for 3 weeks, and it's just like, oh, I got so much to do before we go, and I got 1 week left to do it, but not focusing on that right now. So my first story is, excuse me, we got this week, Infinite Nikki came out, and I did not realize it was already out. I remember seeing that this game had been announced, and I remember seeing it. I think it was at the PlayStation State of Play or the showcase or whatever it was. I didn't know what to make of this game. I was like, I have no idea what it is. I can tell you it's probably not going to appeal to me. But then it came out, and it's huge. It's 10 million downloads in less than a week, which is kind of amazing. And we're going to talk a little bit about it later, but apparently Marvel Rivals came out the next day, and they too have hit 10 million downloads in less than a week. So, wow. Now, granted, it is a free-to-play game, so you're not going to have to pay for it. You can just download it. Who knows how many people are actually playing it, and who knows how many people are playing it to what extent. Like, are people playing it every day or just casually? I don't know. But it is on mobile, so I'm sure a lot of people are playing it. This is actually the 5th game in the Nikki series. The others being, Nikki Up to You, A Dressing Story in 2012, Nikki Up to You, World Traveler in 2014, also known as Hello Nikki, Let's Beauty Up. Nikki Up to You 3, Miracle Nikki, also known as Love Nikki in 2017. Shining Nikki in... Am I saying it that right? Is it Nikki or Nikkei? I don't know. I'm saying Nikki. In 2019, and then finally Infinite Nikki now in 2024. So this is the first time it's not a mobile-only game. This is the first time it's coming to PC or console. So obviously this is a much, much larger game than the previous ones have been. They've all kind of been these kind of dress-up games. But this one takes a lot of inspiration from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It even shares some of the team members. I think one of the directors worked on Breath of the Wild. So it takes a lot of influence from that. It's got, the open world exploration. It's got platforming. It's got puzzles, that sort of thing. Of course, it's also got, the crafting and fishing and bug catching and cooking and all that. But the real meat and potatoes of this game is actually collecting different outfits and being cute. And therefore, one of their main mechanics, they do kind of have, traditional combat where she'll kind of throw like wind at something or whatever. But apparently the real boss battles are what they call stylist duels, which is kind of an interesting thing. And I'm looking at it like, I've never understood. I mean, I'm the kind of person who likes to have kind of an objective, like concrete, the ball goes in the basket, I get a point thing. So things like, say, figure skating or rap battles or yo mama fights, I'm always like, they're fun, but I don't understand why that person won or lost. So and then kind of a fashion off, I guess you would call it, is something that bounces off me too. So I had to look into this. So the way they do it is every piece of clothing that you collect in the game has one of 5 attributes. And those attributes are cool, elegant, fresh, sexy, and sweet. So all of your outfits are going to have some sort of fashion element to them. And each one has a numerical value for each attribute, plus a letter ranking, which I'm not sure what the letter ranking does, but it's got that. So what you'll do is you'll go into an area, a person in that area, I guess they're like a boss or something. They have their preferred style. And so what you basically need to do is you need to find your best outfit that gives you the highest score for that style. And it might not always make a lot of sense or even necessarily look all that great, but it'll win. You'll win a kind of, I guess they do this kind of like walkway thing where, the one comes out and she'll do a pose and then they'll like give you a score and your little score rank goes up. And then the other one will do a pose and your score rank goes up and then it goes back to you. And it's like, I don't know. To me, it feels very Zoolander, which is actually kind of awesome because Zoolander is a great movie. I don't think I'm appreciating it on the level that it's meant to be appreciated on, but a lot of people do, and I can respect that. I respect your game. So yeah, looking into it, I'm kind of like, you know what? This is actually, I don't think it's for me, but I could definitely like try it and not be the grouchy the whole time. But yeah, it came out, huge game, and it's doing very, very well. So if you're looking for a new mobile game, maybe, or if you're looking for a fashion game, or if you're the kind of person that's just like, man, everything's violence, why can't something be cute? This is called the coziest, what do they call it? The coziest open world game. So if you're looking for something where it's just kind of fun and relaxing and cute, and, no pressure, take it at your own pace, then, I don't know, check out Infinite Nikki, because apparently it's doing well.
Korean could appreciate that.
I think Korean would actually like this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this for my girl because I never heard about this before. No, I just put the stream on Twitch because what is he talking about? What is that? Oh, it looks cute. Okay, my girl might like it.
Yeah.
she's washing some big cute birds or something like this. So
yeah. They have like I saw she's doing like a fight with like a fish, but it's you're not actually battling the fish. You're trying to get like across this waterway to get to a lever, and then when you pull the lever, it opens a door and it drains the water out, and the fish is like, oh no, it gets drained out. Very cutesy. This is something that, like, for example, my mom, she doesn't play games, but this would be the kind of game that she would approve of. For example, when we were small, I've talked about how we weren't allowed to play Magic or anything like that. She never really liked a lot of video games because she's like, oh, they're too violent, and they encourage violence. And we kind of got around it with Sonic the Hedgehog because we're like, well, we're not hurting animals, we're freeing the animals. They're trapped inside robots. We're destroying robots, so it's okay. And she's kind of like, all right, get around it. But I think like this kind of approach to, I mean, it's not quote unquote combat. It's the way you progress in the game or solve issues. I think this is something that she would really approve of and be like, oh yeah, why don't we have more games like this that are sweet? So yeah, I don't know, will I check it out? No, but actually not because I'm like, I would never check out this game. It's actually more just because I'm like, I got 50,000 games that I want to play.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just no time. So
And I'm with you with all the fashion contest. Like I couldn't understand 30 years ago on Tamagotchi, and it didn't help.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you feed it and then it poops, and then what? And people are like, that's it. That's what it is. And I'm like, I don't get that, but it just means it's not for me. It doesn't mean it's not good. It just means it's not for me.
Yeah.
Right? I like things that other people think are. I like things that my wife will say like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. but I'm like, yeah, but I like it. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't judge my taste.
I'm not one to judge.
Then shall we move on to my first story, which is
your first one.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna take up my notes because it's a game which I heard about a bit and I didn't realize it was coming out today. So I'm gonna talk about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is actually free on Game Pass. And if you don't have Game Pass, it's a time exclusive game on Xbox Series X and S. Sorry for PlayStation. It's gonna come out for you in the spring 2025. Yes, Xbox does exclusive more than PS5 these days, I feel. And otherwise, if you have a PC, you can get it on Steam for the nifty price of $90, which, well, it's full price. But from the reviews we have at this time, it looks like it's a very, very good game. Developed by Machine Games and published by Bethesda Softworks. I think we have our good friend Todd Howard in the working of these games. It's on an engine I never heard about. Maybe you did. ID Tech 7.
I just know that's probably id Software, right?
I guess so, yeah.
It's probably their engine, I would assume.
All right, because it's a very, very beautiful game. Of course, it's an Indiana Jones, so it's exactly as you expect. So it's an action adventure / puzzle solving games. You've played it on the Tomb Raider and Uncharted lately. At the difference that this one is an FPS, which I'm not sure I get behind because I kind of get seasick on FPS, right? And only very contextually you have a third-person view, but most of it is going to be FPS. It's called The Great Circle, and that's where it's going to get fun, because we talked about conspiracy in our recordings that you're going to see next week or in 2 weeks or whatever. We have a show on conspiracies, and this whole game is based on a conspiracy, oh my god, they had pyramids in Peru and in Egypt and in Iraq, so there must be aliens who spread the same technology everywhere. The Great Circle is exactly this. It's because they realize that spiritual place have been built along one perfect line, one circle. So, the Great Circle around the world. So you're talking Vatican City, Peru. It's again in his adventure back when he was young and and fighting Nazi. Hey, it's not a serious show tonight. Korean's not here, so we have a free card. So it's gonna be, that's exactly kind of the game that I think I would get behind, because I always like my adventure game, I like the Tomb Raider and Uncharted and everything. But the problem with the Indiana Jones, at least in the latest one, I always find it great when I don't want to make it sounds weird, but when he's in the period of fighting Nazis, right? That's the best Indiana Jones period. He's young, finding artifacts and relics and stuff. After that, in Crystal Skull and against Russians, and in the latest one with the compass, whatever. The whole part with the whole beginning of the movie as an old Indiana Jones against the Nazis is fantastic, and as soon as we are moving to a good old Harrison Ford who's in his 70s or something like this, it's really losing its rhythm and interest. And so the whole game here, we are talking an adventure game during the best year of Indiana Jones, and I feel it's gonna be great. I looked at it and really feel like an Uncharted with the mystery solving. So I would say kind of same game, different franchise. I hope I'm wrong, but you're gonna solve anything with a camera, or you're gonna have a bit of fist fighting, fisticuff. I saw a bit of lasso fighting. Of course, that's all the staples of Indiana Jones. So I'm not sure yet what it's gonna give, but for the review I saw, everybody is loving this game. So I think it's great because we had quite a few Lara Croft games in the past 10 years. Uncharted kind of lost his breath, I would say, with the Uncharted 4, I think. Both movies, the Uncharted and the Tomb Raider were meh. So I feel it's really good that we are restarting this kind of adventure game with with a new franchise. It's not a new franchise, of course. I think was the oldest game I played on computer when I was a kid was a Lucas game on an Indiana Jones, point and click, which was absolutely great. So I'm very happy to see a brand new Indiana Jones game coming. What do you think, Adam? Would you like to play this kind of game?
I mean, these kind of games I used to play a lot. Like I used to play like Tomb Raider, and I've only played one of the Uncharted, but I played one of the Uncharted. I don't think there's so much something I'm into these days, kind of like with platformers. I loved platformers as a kid, but now I don't know, there's tastes have changed. So, I mean, it's not something that's like on my to-do list, but I'm sure it's one of those things where like, if I did play it, then I'd be like, yeah, I'm having fun. So, I'm also kind of weird. Like, I think I've mentioned this before. I like to keep my meals separate, I guess you could call it. Like, I usually don't enjoy, like, as a kid, I always loved Legos, right? And so we would have Legos. We would have like, you had all the model sets. You had M-Tron and Blacktron and Pirates and Knights and all that. And I always really liked those. And then they came out with like, as I got older, they had like the Star Wars Legos and the Harry Potter Legos. And something in my little brain was like, I don't like this because these already have stories. I like creating my stories. I don't like to play a story that already exists. I don't know. That's just the way my brain works. So when it's like, if it was like a Tomb Raider, I'm like, oh, okay, this is something new and different, and it's a world to explore. But then when it's Indiana Jones, my brain's like, but Indiana Jones already exists. I can just watch the movies. Why do I need to play the game? Which I know it's an entirely new story and it's unrelated, but I don't know. It's just my weird brain. I don't know what that is, what causes that in me, but I'm sure if I played it, I'd really enjoy it. I mean, it looks fun. I'm not sure how I feel about a first-person Indiana Jones game, but people seem to enjoy it. I also saw that when they were deciding on the voice actor for Indiana Jones, Troy Baker's name came up, and Todd Howard was just like, like, that guy's in everything. But then later on came around, he was like, no, wait, yeah, he did a really, really good job. But yeah, but a little bit of envy there, right? Why does Troy Baker get all the jobs? Why don't I ever get hired for voice acting? Oh, so. But the truth is, he's good and I'm not. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but he's good.
He is good. He is good. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, you listen to him. You could show me like 10 games, and Troy Baker could be in 5 of them, and I would not be able to tell you which 5 because he will sound different in all 5. I wouldn't be able to tell you which ones were Troy Baker and which ones weren't Troy Baker. So he does a very good job.
So which games were Troy Baker in?
Was he in? He was in obviously Death Stranding, but he's also
obviously, yeah.
he's Joel in Last of Us, right?
Last of Us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head. I know he's in like a billion. But those are the only 2 I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, what?
Yeah,
is he Nathan
friend.
Drake?
Oh.
Or is that
Let me check that.
Is that what's his name? Nolan North? Nolan something. I don't know.
Drake's brother, Sam Drake.
Sam Drake.
Yeah. So yeah, he's in the franchise, just not the right Drake. But well done. I didn't even notice it was him actually.
Okay, so wait, who is Nathan Drake?
No clue.
Okay.
It's fine. We still have a show to run, so we can check that after.
Nolan North is yeah. So I always confuse. I do actually confuse those 2 quite often. So.
Nolan North. Yeah, you're right. Nolan North. I don't know Nolan North.
I really shouldn't, but I do.
It's fine.
They're like the only 2 dudes in the industry.
In the big AAA production, yeah.
Yeah.
until they're replaced with AI.
Cornered the market. I mean, obviously we have other people, like the cast of Persona. I can't remember his name, but the guy who plays Ryuji, I think his name is Yuri something, right? He's really good too. But yeah, when people think voice acting, it's just always Tara Strong, Nolan North, Troy Baker,
And with that, we should move to our second story because Korean's not here and we are wasting time digressing
We're not
again.
wasting time. We're using it efficiently.
Actually, okay. We were talking about this actually because we are always 15 minutes late starting the show, and we're always talking about stuff. So we're thinking maybe we should record this and call it middle-aged gamers ranting or something like this.
Yeah, I didn't record early. Sorry, guys, you're not gonna be able to see those outtakes. So.
Oh, what a shame. That's pretty. I'm sure it's good because sometimes it's just not appropriate.
Very true. All right, so me moving on is The Witcher. We're doing The Witcher is getting an official physical Gwent. So you're actually going to be able to play the game Gwent on your tabletop. And there is there are digital versions of it out there, but now you're going to be able to physically hold the cards in your hand. So this is going to be brought to us by Hatchet Board Games. And it looks like it's I could only see that they are releasing it in the US and the UK. Those two were specifically mentioned. So I don't know if it's getting other regions or not, but it will be in those two regions at least 2025. It's going to be $44 in the UK, and it's going to be $39.99 in the US. It's also going to be coming with 400 cards and a playmat that's going to make it so that while you're playing, it's going to feel a little more Witchery. So you're going to have all the, if you've played The Witcher 3 or played Gwent, they kind of have like a kind of a board setup where your cards can go. They're going to have that so you can feel like you're in the Witcher world. And different variants of the game will be available, so you can play tournament rules, or there's apparently a bunch of different rule sets. I've only played Gwent in The Witcher 3, so I don't know what some of those other rule sets are, but it was very fun in The Witcher 3. It was a little bit annoying just because they didn't keep track of where they didn't keep track of really which cards you had or which cards you didn't have. So if you went to somebody, like for instance, if I knew I was missing a card, I had to go to an online guide to look up where do I get this card, because I can't just walk up to somebody and see on an icon saying they have a card you have collected or they have a card you haven't collected. For example, if I'm playing Triple Triad in Final Fantasy 14, if they don't have a card, if they have a card I don't have, they'll have like a little, I think it's a little icon signifying that this person has a card you don't have. So I know that I should play that person for that card. Otherwise, it'll just say, well, this person's available to play the game. And The Witcher kind of annoyed me that they didn't have that, because I would be like, oh, okay, I don't have this card. Well, now I have to scour the world looking for somebody who has it, and I ended up looking at a guide and unfortunately discovered that my game was glitched, and there was a card that you were supposed to get 2 copies of, and I had 3 copies of that card. And because I had 3 copies of that card, it means somebody accidentally gave me the wrong card. And that meant that the card that they were supposed to give me, I could not collect, and therefore could not get the trophy. So, little annoying, but not a huge deal, because I was not trying to get platinum in The Witcher. Oh my god, that would take too long. So I was kind of like, it is what it is. It wasn't a super important card, and the third one that I had was fairly good anyway. So I wasn't complaining, but yeah, Gwent was a lot of fun. I think it's really cool that actually they are giving, like, it starts with 400 cards. So, you can start right away with your friends. You can buy it. It's not like, something like Pokemon or something where you have to collect cards, and then, build your own deck and then play with other people who have their own decks. It's just, you can buy a deck and then you can just play with your friends. You can just say, hey, let's build decks out of these 400, play. I think that's really cool that it's kind of plug and play, so to speak. So, definitely something to look forward to if you're a card game type person. So check it out. Gwent. Gwent. That's all it is. Gwent, the card game. So
I bet you were playing the Scoia'tael.
You mean like which deck I was playing?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'd have to load up my old save to figure it out, but I think so. I don't remember. I really don't.
And
Maybe I was
knew
playing
it.
Skellige. I don't remember.
But no, that's great because Gwent is honestly a great game. I had a lot of fun with it as well. And the timing is weird. I mean, The Witcher 3 is old.
Yeah,
The
10
Witcher,
years old.
the Witcher TV series ended with Henry Cavill leaving, and I'm not saying that Mr. Hemsworth is doing a bad job, but everybody's saying The Witcher is just not The Witcher anymore. So the TV series is not a show anymore. So why releasing a Witcher-based card game right now? I'm not sure that. I mean, like, for the people who really, really, really like The Witcher, I mean, I bet it's a must-have, but there's plenty of card game outside. Pokemon being all the rave in card games these days. So I think they would have made more money doing this on a mobile game. I think they already have a mobile game,
There
mobile
is
Gwent.
a website. Let's see if I can find it again. I found it last night.
Yeah, but not an app. Do they have a Gwent app or something? Or something they could make money out of microtransaction or something that Korean would spend hundreds of dollars on.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you can go to
Like Snap.
playgwent.com and then you can play it for free. I don't know if there's an app version or not. I'm sure somebody's played. It says play for free on PC, also on Google Play and the Apple App Store and Steam. So, yeah, I guess there is an app version of it. So, yeah.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So let's hope for the best for them. I'm wondering really if they're gonna make lots of money on it, but if you are gonna buy Gwent, it's thanks to us at Minage Gaming, right? So we are doing the marketing for them.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I don't. Absolutely.
Is it Hatchet Games? Hatchet Board Games. Am I pronouncing that
I
right?
don't
It's HACHETTE. That looks French.
Hachette?
Hachette. Okay, Hachette. Is that like the same
Hachette.
thing as a hatchet in English, or is it a different word?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
It has no meanings. Just to be clear, right?
Name. Okay.
Yeah, just a name. We're I think doing like dictionaries and stuff like this. So anyway, like book edition for me, Hachette. Like edition.
Okay. Well, I apologize to Hachette Games for mispronouncing their name.
I didn't even use they were doing games, but okay, fair enough. I wonder if the royalties are going to go to the writer or to CD Projekt. I guess to the writer. I hope.
I would assume the writer would get some royalties. I don't know if I guess it would depend on because that's a good question because I mean Gwent is obviously from the game. I don't think is it in the books? If it was in the books, it's like probably a passing mention or something like that, right? I can't imagine it would be a huge thing in the books. So it's probably a game thing. So yeah, it probably would be CG Projekt Red. I mean,
wait for them to make a bit of money.
The writer might get some royalties because of the characters and whatnot, though. But the game itself, I think, would be CG Projekt Red. So they probably both get some level of royalties.
Shall we go on to your third and maybe final story?
Yeah, I mean, my third story kind of ties into. I had a fourth one as a backup, but they're kind of related. So my final story for today is related to Ubisoft. Final stories are related to Ubisoft. The first one is they have revised their loyalty program, which I didn't know that Ubisoft had a loyalty program, but they do. And it now allows discounts on pre-orders and new games. So I guess they had kind of limited games that you could use those points on. Now you can use them on pre-orders and brand new games. So, more ways to use them. Now, the way that the points work is if you have 100 units, then you can get a 20% discount. And what you would do is when you want to buy something, you add eligible products to your cart and then go to the checkout page. And if you have 100 or more units, there will be kind of like a little get discount option that you can click. So you click that. And then after you redeem your units, then you would get the 20% discount automatically added to whatever it is. Now, I don't know the extent of that because, I mean, like, for example, if I'm buying one game and get a 20% discount one time, that's, obviously great. But if I sit back and I'm like, I'm just not going to buy this game, wait till I have 5 games, buy all them and get a 20% discount on every single one for the same amount. I don't know if you can game the system that way or not. I would assume probably not, but I don't know. So we would have to look that up. One unit is worth $1 spent on the Ubisoft store. So every time you spend money, if you buy a $70 game, you got 70 points right there. You buy, say, 3 $70 games and you have 210 points, which means that you could get your 20% discount twice. So pretty easy to get. You can also get them by leveling up your Ubisoft accounts by completing challenges in your favorite game. I don't know what the rate of gain is there, but if you're playing Ubisoft games, sometimes they'll have some challenges, and then you can use it. You complete those, and then your Ubisoft level goes up. You get experience, and when you go up to a new level, you're going to get some points that way too. So that is another way to get those Ubisoft points. And you can also redeem your Ubisoft points for exclusive in-game items like weapons, outfits, emotes, and consumables. So you can get those points. Obviously, this isn't part of the new program, but you could always do that. So that's also good. It does say though that this is not applicable for in-game not applicable for in-game purchases, subscriptions, or any product, including virtual currency. So if you're trying to buy something in game and say an Assassin's Creed game, it won't work. But if you go to the Ubisoft store, you can use them. So, just an update to that you can now use it on new games and pre-orders. So that part is new. Everything else, I guess, has been around for a while. But also, the second part is that Ubisoft has been in talks with Tencent about buying being bought. So Tencent is looking into buying Ubisoft. Currently, Tencent owns 10% of the company, whereas the 𝙎𝙪𝙥𝙥𝙦, am I saying that right? The 𝙎𝙪𝙥 family, they own 15%, so they have a little bit more. So they currently have control over the company. Now, obviously, if Tencent bought them out, then Tencent would have control of the company. However, the 𝙎𝙪𝙥 family don't want to lose control. So they want to find a way to have a management-led buyout, which basically means somebody else owns the company, but we still control it, which is kind of a weird thing to ask for. But hey, you do you. And so that is their condition. They say, hey, if we get bought out, we want to retain control of Ubisoft. I guess the deal would be you being the owners are going to get the profit from it, but we still want to be able to run it the way we run it. I guess that's kind of their take on it. Tencent, on the other hand, says, well, we want greater say in future board decisions. So we want more control than we already have. Maybe you might still have the most control, but we want more control. And also they want a deal in place to prevent another company from coming in and making a hostile takeover. So I guess a couple of years ago, or maybe last year, there was another company that it kind of attempted a hostile takeover of Ubisoft. Were not successful. And Tencent wants some kind of deal in place where basically they say, you will only sell to us. You will not be selling to anybody else. And there's no way that we can lose control in the future. So if those two things are in place, Tencent's cool with it. And as long as the 𝙎𝙪𝙥 family can retain control, they're cool with it. And then after this announcement broke, I guess this was on Routers or something. Routers? I'm not quite sure. I always see it in print. I never hear it said out loud. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. But after this news came out, their stock rose 16%. So you might think, hey, their stock's going up. This is a great time to buy. But keep in mind that it is still 70% down over the last 5 years. So it is going up, but maybe that's actually the best reason to do it, right? They're low and they're going on the rise. So, that's maybe now would be a good time to buy some Ubisoft stock. I don't know. I am not a stock market guru. Do not take anything I say related to the stock market seriously. Please do not, because I have no idea what I'm talking about. So, but yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't know if it's really the time to buy Ubisoft, because mainly they're being criticized for their Assassin's Creed every year, and they were talking about doing, yeah, no, you're right, maybe Assassin's Creed every year is not good, maybe let's do it every 6 months. They talked about it. Oh yeah, no, not really what we want. So, but on the loyalty point, it's time to go on Assassin's Creed and get every little trinkets to every little game, to every Assassin's Creed, and you're gonna get a lot of points out of this. So at least the loyalty program is good. For console, of course, not for PC users, because PC users have Steam sales and things like this. So
yeah, well, that's the thing too, is I don't think in consoles it really matters. It has to be bought on the Ubisoft store. So if you're buying it from a console, I don't think you're getting those points, because you're buying it through the PlayStation store or the Nintendo store or the Xbox store.
Then you'll have to be a very, very big Ubisoft fan. Then I guess
you would have to be a pretty big Ubisoft fan, yeah.
Yeah, I guess nothing more to say about this, really. No, Ubisoft is one of the oldest gaming company in France, so let's hope that the Guillemot company can keep it, even though it has been quite controversial, in the past 5-10 years. I don't remember what the CEO did, but it was not fun, working for Ubisoft at some point. And, they are in Montreal, so I would know. But, I guess that's it for tonight. Are you planning to play or to do... no, yeah, you're 3 weeks in US, right? So I guess no live for 3 weeks, right? Sorry, guys. So
I am devastated. Nobody watches my streams except for Noble Cooper, and thank you, Noble Cooper, for watching our streams. But other than him, I don't know if anybody else would be too disappointed. But I am devastated. Actually, I'm smiling right now, but that's because I'm projecting. I am going to be very sad to be away from my games for 3 weeks. It's going to drive me nuts. I will be taking my PS Vita. I am praying that it survives 3 weeks. It did die, and then it came back. But who knows? It came out in, I think I got it in 2011, 2012. So it's like a 12-year-old little handheld now. So hopefully I'm planning to hopefully play some Persona 4 Golden. So let's hope it holds out. But we'll have to wait and see. If it doesn't, then I don't know. I'll just sleep for 3 weeks and then just let the time pass.
Yeah. Because Taipei to Virginia is quite a long flight, so
it is 13 hours from Taipei to Seattle, and then we have I think it's like a 6 or 8 hour layover in Seattle, and then from Seattle to DC is a 5 hour flight. I think it's 5 hours. Maybe it's 4, because there's also the time zone changes. So it's like when you arrive, but I think it's 5 hour flights. And then my wife doesn't work for the airlines anymore, so we're not getting all the special deals. We are in the cheap seats.
And now you know why he's going 3 weeks, because he's not going to US anytime soon after that.
I hope not.
We won't tell your family about that.
No.
All right. Shame, we could be live on internet. Oh la la.
Yeah, no.
What if they were watching?
They don't watch.
Shame. Yeah, maybe a bit too late for them. I mean, they're on the same time as me, so.
But yeah, I'm also hourly, so that's 3 weeks of. So not only is it the 3 week, paying for 3 weeks of vacation, it's not getting paid for 3 weeks on top of it.
Yes.
So it's the double whammy of this is gonna. 2025 is gonna be tight, but thank God I've been saving money for a rainy day.
So what that really means, people, is that please subscribe and share so that we can become professional YouTubers and Adam can actually earn his life through our channel, which has always been our goal, right? Mm-hmm. And our channel is venerably 4 but it's 4 years old. Exactly. But let's start with Adam. I'm comfortable at this time. I don't need anything. Thank you very much. And with that said, well, we wish you a very good night. And from now on, you will have some pre-recorded show, which you won't be able to talk to us live, but you don't really do that anyway. So I don't think it's going to be a loss. It's not self-pity, it's just,
Gallows humor.
Yeah, exactly. It's just being realistic. And with this, we'll see you on the first week of January, I believe. So see you next year. Have some great Christmas and New Year and enjoy your holidays.
Yep. Have a good one.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Merry Christmas, all that.
Cheers.